If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I want to talk a little bit about this thing called mind control. You might have heard of it. I mean, a lot of people have heard of it, just a lot of people don't believe it's real. And I was working on something with subliminal cuts, and then a subscriber on the website who puts up great info, Shauna, shared this clip from a Disney movie, and it just worked perfectly because I had it in my back pocket that I was waiting to do a video on it. And it all comes together, and sometimes that's how it works. So subliminal cuts is a form of mind control that they claim that they've outlawed. Now, they don't need to use subliminal cuts anymore because, well, the commercials that we see are flat out ridiculous, which I'll show you later on in the video. But subliminal cuts is when they put and splice in a clip for a fraction of a second. They do it in music videos constantly. They do it at even at concerts in front of a large crowd on the big screen that'll be behind the band. It's a form of mind control. And if you don't understand what it is or how it works, I'm going to use a clip from the television show Columbo. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of it, but it's an easy way to explain what it is. And they always show us this stuff in TVs and movies. They don't show us this type of stuff much anymore as far as mind control and things. Well, I guess they do. But anyway, this is a perfect little clip from the TV show Columbo that shows you what a subliminal cut is and what the point of it is.
I didn't see anything but a lot of racing cars.
Well, that's the whole idea, Lieutenant. You don't see it with your eye. You see it with your subconscious mind. That's why it's called subliminal. Look.
Obvious son of a gun. See, that thing makes you hungry just to look at it.
Yeah, well, that's the whole idea. If you want to sell hamburgers.
I mean, I can't see how one frame of a hamburger going by so fast. How's that gonna make anybody hungry?
The thing is, Lieutenant, that the subliminal cut isn't used just once. Now, you can work that into a film in a dozen places. Yet it has a cumulative effect in the viewer's subconscious.
Subliminal cuts. Who ever heard of a subliminal cut? You took one frame, was it one frame?
Yes.
Of a picture of buttered popcorn and cut it into the middle of a movie, and it went by so fast that everybody in the audience watching the movie, they never saw it. But all of a sudden, everybody in the theater, they wanted to eat popcorn.
That's the way it works.
I'll be a son of a gun.
So that's what a subliminal cut is. They put it in one frame. And a perfect example of this perversion, which was shared with me, is from this Disney movie called Rescuers. Now, I want to play a clip for you. Now, watch this clip and tell me what you see. Ready? Go. Okay, you probably didn't notice anything, right? Now, watch it slow down. I'm going to slow down the frame rate and tell me what you see. You may have noticed for a fraction of a second that Disney, I'm shocked that they would do this, put in a picture of a nude woman in the background. Now, you might think that the woman is actually even severed if you look closely enough, but the point is they spliced that into a children's movie, Rescuers, a topless woman. Now, of course, if they were going to splice anything in, we know it would be a topless man, or a pantless man, let's be real, because that fits the agenda way better. But Disney's always been known for subliminally doing perverted things like this. We've seen the stuff with Little Mermaid, and tons of Disney stuff where you could look at it and you could see perversion tied in. But that's how subliminal cuts work. That right there is a subliminal cut where you see a woman topless in a Disney film. Now, why would they do that? Now, since then, Disney has edited it out. And it's supposedly a conspiracy theory. But people who had it on VHS from back in the day, of course, have uploaded it to YouTube. And they never have to address it. It's still just this weird conspiracy theory. How did it get there? Why is it there? I don't get it. Because they don't understand how the subliminal mind works. They don't understand anything as far as psychology, how the brain operates, what the purpose is, right? All these things that the CIA does as far as experiments on the brain, trauma-based mind control, et cetera, creating split personalities, multiple personality disorder. These are all things that the government does on the people, and they use movies and films and commercials, blah, 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 to also use mind control methods. Like you saw, it goes way deeper than, you put a hamburger in a clip, so now I'm hungry. No. It goes way deeper. And you might say, well, I'm going to go through clips and I'm going to slow down the frame rate. Go ahead. I don't know if you'll find anything. I've seen stuff over the last couple of years. I think I've covered a few events where they have spliced things in, a few music videos and things like that, because they do. I think, what was that horrible band? Panic at the Disco, I covered, had spliced in some things, but people just go, well, it's a music video. That's what they do, and it's like, oh, okay, right. And then when you see it in the rescues, you just go, oh, that's interesting. That's what most people will say. And they'll say, oh, and then they'll be more fascinated with the photo than they will be with what the purpose of Disney putting it in there is. Well, because Disney wants to do this to your children. They want to pervert the children, show them sexual images at the age of 2 years old, 5 years old, because they know how the subliminal mind works. Because Disney is an arm of the CIA. Always has been, always will be. I mean, if you don't know Disney, other than, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, Disney is wicked and horrible to kids. It's like, where have you been? Walt Disney's a 33rd degree Mason. Walt Disney, there are books that have been scrubbed, but there are books from the past about Walt's, what is the word? Lust for the young ones. I mean, love for the young ones. Lots. And what he was planted there to do. And the whole purpose of what Disney was as a CIA operation. Of course, nobody wants to believe it, never has wanted to believe it, because everybody loves Disney, because they're under mind control. That's how the whole thing works. You got to step away to realize what it is. You got to be walking in the spirit, not walking in the flesh, being obsessed and caring about this garbage like Disney, and seeing for yourself, oh my goodness, well, why would Disney use something like that? Oh, Disney, why is Disney all of a sudden all into pride? Disney's always been like this. They've been like this from the get-go. They're a CIA operation. That's what they do. They mind control. They groom. They've been groomers for a long time. That's what that clip shows you. Now, today, in this world, you don't really need to splice anything in. You don't even really need to do subliminal mind control. Because instead of that, they're allowed to openly push every single agenda they want in movies and commercials, whether anyone wants to see it or not. They just shove it down your throat. Here's a commercial from Postmates that was posted on the website by a subscriber named Sean, who posts great stuff. I had to share this too. This is Postmates. Does this have anything to do with food?
What are you eating, Miss Pride? Well, if you're a top, it seems like you can eat whatever you want. But if you're a bottom, you're expected to starve? Not this Pride. Introducing the bottom-friendly menu from Postmates. We teamed up with Dr. Evan Goldstein from Bespoke Surgical to bring you a menu of bottom-friendly foods backed by science. Insoluble fiber won't help you feel cute, so avoid things like whole grains, wheat bran, cauliflower, potatoes, legumes. Hold up, are you just fully diving into those beans? The problem with these foods is they don't dissolve in water, which could cause a traffic jam in your digestive system, making a mess of your evening. Speaking of messy, it's a good idea to avoid dairy.
I cannot handle lactose right now. Look at her.
If you're going to eat something insoluble, give your body about 24 hours to process all of it. Soluble fibers and protein are the key to having some good, clean fun. These all digest easily and slowly while feeding your good gut bacteria, which makes sushi a great bottom-friendly option. There's no right or wrong way to bottom, but if you're planning on getting Peachy this Pride, the bottom-friendly menu on Postmates has the kinds of foods that could keep you feeling good.
Are you organic?
That really makes me want to eat and then go find a long rope in a tree, if you catch my drift. No, that makes me want to throw up. And it should make anybody out there want to throw up. But of course, if you say anything bad about that, you're a bigot and a racist and a hate, whatever term you are that they want to deem you, and you're just supposed to accept it and agree with these buffoons, the insane asylum that's running our world now. But that's a clip right there that you see for yourself what that is, right? That's the way mind control works now, you see? It's a lot different from the way it used to work, but they still work that in. And countries have outlawed that technique. It's not a conspiracy theory, subliminal cuts. Countries have outlawed it, except, of course, one specific one, if you look it up for yourself. Today, the use of subliminal messaging is banned in many countries. Unsurprisingly, the United States does not forbid the use of subliminal messages in advertisements. Of course they don't. Well, why would they? This is the giant science experiment. That's what America is. Operation Paperclip. Well, it's spread all over the place. I mean, Operation Paperclip came right here to America. We were the science experiment for the world. And you're seeing that now more so than ever. This was the place where the mind control was going to be done, where they were going to implement it on the masses. And so what you're seeing right now, with a small percentage of the population, it's like 5%, if that. I don't even know what the percentage is. I won't even pretend to make it up. But people who are LGZ, it's a very minute amount, who have total control. So Sodom now has control of America. You can't question anything any of them do, right? We're being told that you should cut off your pee-pee and all this other stuff. Interesting, right? Data shows that they're in the minority, but because we're a science experiment, and now you're just going to see it ramped up, like I showed you yesterday with the clip from the drag show for kids. Why are they doing that? They're doing it on purpose. They can get away with it more now. They don't even need to go subliminal. They're going, look, here's our middle finger. We're going to shove this down your throat until we cause civil unrest. That's the experiment we're running. And all of us, well, we all, with your tax money, built underground bunkers, and you're not going to be able to find us until it's all over. We'll have enough food for 10 years probably down there. We'll have TV. We don't have TV, but well, they will, but I mean, I don't know what to watch. Well, whatever. They'll have whatever they need down there. I'm sure they'll have children in cages as well, because these people can't live without that. We know that much. It is so unbelievable that people don't see what our own government here in America has done to us, and what they're doing right now is a perfect example of it. They are frying people's brains, literally, with the insanity that they are pushing on both sides, left and right. They are deliberately frying people. They just did it with the outbreak. They're continuing it now. They're doing it with the economy, and people still don't see it. And why should they see it? They've been getting mind control from the beginning. That's a perfect example, the clip from Colombo. That's how mind control's always worked here. And now they just do it out in public, openly. They're telling you that they're mind raping you. And people just go, man, what? You're crazy. They're not doing anything. Oh, and I wonder why they had that whole movement about be your best you, self-pride, love yourself. The whole purpose of that is so that you would never think that you've been duped because you're too prideful. Pride was the fall of Satan, remember? When you're prideful, you can't accept what's actually going on. When you're prideful, you can't see what's going on because you can't get past your own pride, your own ego. To actually wake up to what's going on, you have to be humble. And if you're not humble, you need to become humble. People hear people like us talk, and the reason that they hate it so much is because they think that we think that we're smarter than everybody else. We were duped too. All of us were duped. None of us woke up from birth and knew that this whole thing was a scam. You might have felt it. See, at a young age, I knew something was wrong. Like my intro says, something was terribly wrong. And I was a follower of Christ. And I still couldn't see it, because it was underground. And then you look at some of the scripture, right? You look at Ezekiel chapter 8. I mean, you could see stuff in there and you're still like, what? And then you start digging and digging and digging and realizing, whoa, wow, how prophetic the Bible is. and how amazing God is and how sick and demented these people are. And this is the type of stuff that they do. They shove pictures of nude women in a kid's cartoon, and then they just shrug their shoulders. Any other company that did that got caught doing that, would have been out of business probably. Disney? Don't even need to ask a question about it. It's Disney. They didn't do it on purpose. Whoever put that in there, they were just an employee who threw it in there as a joke. He lost his job anyway, so we're going to continue on. Oh, and nobody caught it except, people like me and whoever else out there who may have seen it. And I didn't see it, actually. Sean on the website saw it. Other people have seen it. It's apparently a thing. But subliminal mind control is a thing. They just won't admit to doing it. Why should they? Well, they don't need to, because they do it out in the open now. Reminder, check out the website at callfornuprising.com. It's $2.99 a month. Hope to see everybody over there. A lot of great information being shared. I hope more people will join at some point. It's 10 cents a day. It's the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks. It's actually less than the price of a cup of coffee anywhere, pretty much. Even, I think, at McDonald's. So $2.99 a month. It's reasonable. There's no ads over there. It is a great environment, so I hope everybody will join. I want to thank everyone for being here on YouTube as well. I appreciate the support as always, and the Patrons especially. I thank you. God bless all of you and your families.